I'm Melissa,
And I'm Katie,
and this is the Coffee Experiment.
the podcast for coffee lovers. Now I'm going to take my prebiotic so I don't have belly issues. I hate being 30. Anyway.
Same.
Or I should say 31. I'm going to be freaking 32 this year.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
I went to a dinner this week. It was to meet some of my husband's work friends and their wives, and we were talking or whatever, and I came to realize that the other gals were younger than me. The one gal was 24 and the other one was 25. And I realized that I was 31 and I didn't
You know, whatever what to do. I think about when I have situations like that, I'm like, I am the person that, like, when I went to those things being young, looked up to, and I was like, oh my gosh, this person's the oldest. They know how to do life. And then, like, here we are, and I'm like, they didn't know how to do life.
Oh, they're like, honestly, just like I'm a 31-year-old who feels like she's 26.
Yeah.
So isn't that how we all feel? No matter how old you get?
I hope that's how we all feel. If not, well, Vince and I, we went to our, like, a friend's house for dinner, and our friends, they're retired. We were definitely the youngest in that group, but there was multiple people there. And, well, some of them are retired and some of them are not. It just, they could be. They're, you know, they're like that. Yeah. They just like working. But we're sitting around and I'm just like, I look up to these people so much, and I'm like, I wonder if they know what they're doing. Does anyone know what they're doing?
Does anyone? Does anyone know what they're doing? Or are we all just doing our best? I don't know.
I'll tell you one person that knows what they're doing. Not my voice, like, cracking. Roasters. Yeah. They know what they're doing when they pick out their blends. It's the worst segue ever.
Segue.
Yeah.
So today, guys, we are talking about coffee cupping. Now, when Melissa first texted me about, like, coffee cupping, like, the first thing that came to mind was, like, this competition where people could see, like, how fast they could put coffee in cups.
What?
That's kind of what I was envisioning, but then I acted like I knew what it was, and then I looked it up, and it was much different.
Yeah, you definitely acted like you knew what it was. So the truth comes out.
That sounds good. But anyway, so it was kind of like Melissa, like, learning about bird-friendly coffee, where she thought that, like, birds would eat the coffee. It was the same deal for me. Yeah. So, I think that I also thought about, like, that weird thing that you can do on your body where you can put, like, cups on your body, but I knew it wasn't that. But that's what I thought.
I think that's called cupping, though, isn't it?
It is called cupping.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was watching a video about that the other day, and they, like, put the little heat in there, and they're like, and then, like, they take it off, and they're like, kerplunk, and I'm like, oh, it's so aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, it's it looked kind of painful, but maybe it's not.
I don't know. Has anyone ever gotten cupped? That sounds weird. Has anyone ever had cupping on their backs? If you have, let us know in the comments down below.
Please tell us about your cupping experience. But as far as let's talk about, like, the other type of cupping, which is coffee cupping. Now, if you're like me and you have no idea what it is, I'm gonna let Melissa tell you what it is, because I looked it up and I'm pretty sure I know. And I feel like it's something that me and Melissa should, like, go do, like, together.
Oh yeah, we need to.
We should. Yeah. So I'm gonna have Melissa tell you exactly what it is.
Okay. So coffee cupping is basically a method for, like, evaluating the aroma and the flavor, the body, the acidity, and the overall quality of coffee. And it's used by professionals and coffee enthusiasts. A lot of people really like cupping. Okay. But what exactly is cupping? It is a controlled tasting process that basically allows you to explore the characteristics of different coffee beans. And it's used by, like I said, roasters, buyers, baristas, enthusiasts to basically assess the bean quality and to compare. You can understand the flavors, like the flavor profiles, the acidity, all that stuff, and it basically helps identify subtle notes in the coffee. And you can have things that are fruity, nutty, floral, earthy, and basically ensures the consistency in roasted batches. So, I've been to a few cuppings. I've been to two cuppings by one roaster, and then I've been to some cuppings in like whenever we traveled to the coffee expos that we've been to. And it's basically how you can identify what kind of coffees you like. My voice today. What kind of coffees you
What?
like, or what kind of coffees you want to serve at your coffee shop, or, new roasts, profile, stuff like that. And yeah, it's just really, really cool. And it's also a really cool way to refine your palate and to like do roast profiles. So
Mhm.
that's basically just like a quick overall of what it is. But essentially, you're taking coffee, you're taking, a blend and you're trying it. And we'll get into later how to actually do it, what equipment you need, and how to actually cup your coffee. And then we also, up on our Instagram, have a picture of the cupping, like
Oh.
profile wheel basically. And if you look at that, that's kind of how you can test, like you can compare. And a lot of places, like if you're taking, like I took my staff to a cupping when we were trying to figure out our house blend, and we
Mhm.
had like five different flavors in front of us, and we used that chart to kind of identify what we thought the aroma and the taste was, and then we used it to pick out which one we liked the best. And that's how our
Oh.
house blend was made. That's also how our coffee experiment podcast blend was picked out as well.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, very good. Yeah, I feel like so basically it's like a super like pretentious thing that you can go do to
Absolutely.
feel
Yes.
to feel better than everyone.
Yes, and you do. When you do it, you do.
Yeah, it's like that meme or not meme, but like that voiceover like on TikTok or whatever where you're like, "Am I better than everyone?"
Yeah, it's kind of like wine tasting, but for coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's perfect. And I want to be that pretentious and I want to feel that confident. So I want to go do that.
Yeah. You can also do it like at home. Like you don't have to have the
Yeah.
professional
Yep.
equipment. You can literally use a bowl, and yeah, like it's so easy to do, you know? So,
Mhm. Yeah, to pick out coffee that yeah, that you wanna drink. You could do it, get to pick your your house blend that you're gonna have at your house, you know? You don't even have to own a coffee shop,
yeah.
and you can do that.
A lot
Well,
of roasters love cupping because, like, okay, if they own a roastery, because there are a lot of roasters out there that don't own a coffee shop on top of their roastery, they just own a
sure.
roastery. So when they sell their blends, they will have a cupping when they come out with their new blends, or if they're trying new blends, they'll invite like maybe 10 or 12 of their friends or just like whoever for the cupping. And then basically whichever blends like beat out the rest, they know those are going to be the most popular ones, and those are the ones they should package up to sell. So it's a really good
Mm.
way to figure out what kind of blends do well in your community, who likes what. We actually did a coffee taste testing, or I'm sorry, not a taste testing. We did a latte art class at my coffee shop a couple months ago, and we had our
Mhm.
roaster come in and do a cupping course for everybody who came so they could learn how to do cupping and they could taste the different blends. And he actually stuck our house blend in there, just like, secretly, and that one actually
Yeah.
won. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
really cool how you can do that, and it also trains you to be able to pick out the different notes of coffee, and you can taste how different they all are, because everybody's like, oh, coffee tastes the same. No, it doesn't. And you would know
No.
that if you tried a cupping.
We tried a cupping. You know what I think? For this year sometime, we need to meet somewhere in the middle of the United States for a cupping in a place that we've never been.
Yes,
But I
I'm
think,
so down. I'm so down.
yeah, that's what we should do. Anyway, that's for yeah, it'd be so fun. So okay, well, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that yeah, cupping sounds like an amazing, like fun thing to go do if you're a coffee lover. So you should look it up. I should see if there's any local ones in my area.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Uh, and I will say, as a coffee shop owner, it's a little bit easier to get into one like that because, if you're like, hey, I'm looking for a new cold brew or I'm looking for a new house blend, they're gonna be like, okay, well, let's like do a cupping and try it or whatever. But they also do a lot of cuppings at coffee expos and events like that, stuff like that. But Katie, I'm interested about
Yes.
the history of cupping because I
Yeah.
don't know the history of it. And I know that you know the history of cupping because that is who you are.
Yes. Yeah, I decided I wanted to know the history of cupping after I figured out what coffee cupping was in between texts with Melissa when I Googled it and acted like I had always known what it was. But now I do. So, now something that's really interesting about coffee cupping is that it actually is traced back to the 1800s during the trade era like of coffee. So basically what happened was coffee merchants would taste beans straight from the sack to decide whether or not they would buy them. It was just really gritty, rough type of thing, not for enjoyment or being pretentious. It was literally just to crunch on those beans to see if they were good or not. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Anyway, would you do that, Melissa? Would you just crunch on some beans to see if they were good?
I have.
How is that?
uh, Not the best. Although, well, are you talking about the green beans or the after they're roasted?
Mm, that's a good question. It just says here in my research that they would get them straight from the bag to assess them.
Oh, then that
I'm
probably talking
assuming.
about green beans. Okay, I have not chomped on some green
Hmm.
beans.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, maybe because I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'd have to go back and look at that. But either way, they're eating them right out of the bag just to evaluate the flavor
Hmm.
um of the
Interesting.
beans. So, um so yeah, so it started back in the 1800s. And then as we kind of go into the late 1800s, US importers called the Hill Brothers decided to formalize tasting rooms to evaluate and grade incoming green coffee. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was green coffee.
Okay, all right.
So the green beans. Okay, so they would actually have this room. So the Hill brothers, they decided, hey, we need an actual room to like taste the beans, to have all the vibes. So they needed that. Um, but then in the early 1900s, what happened is that coffee trade grew. Major importing houses, particularly in the US, they began setting up dedicated tasting rooms. As I said, in the late 1800s, this guy called I think I'm saying this right, William Euchers. He was a great early coffee historian. He
Mm.
documented these practices formally. It was his job around 1906 in ways that helped make cupping a recognized profession. Over the following decades, trade associations began agreeing on shared vocabulary and procedure. So
Interesting.
there you go. So William, he decided, you know what? So he was a self-professed coffee historian, and he said this is important, and we need to make this a recognized profession. So there you have it.
Hmm.
Um, and
Interesting.
then yeah, yeah. And so from then on it just grew. And then it now up to like the 1960s here, the specialty movement kind of changed things. So Alfred Peet, also known as the guy who started Peet's Coffee, um, he arrived in Berkeley in 1966, and he imported the idea that coffee could and should be evaluated on sensory quality rather than just consistency and price. So this philosophy um, basically basically founded the Specialty Coffee Association of America, which is the SCAA. officially in 1982, which gave the industry a shared framework for talking about taste. So if you go to like an official cupping, the SCA, if it's put on by the SCAA, they're all going to have like a shared framework and like shared industry terms. So I don't know if you've gone
Interesting.
to one like that.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't. No, that's awesome. Well, unless the ones at the expo were, but I honestly couldn't tell you.
Yeah. This is probably like where you know, where they have like I don't know, we'd have to look up where they have these and
Yeah.
when they have them, how many times a year, you know? Um, because uh yeah, because now basically like that's like the optimum way to have an official coffee cupping. So basically in in 2004, they came up with the 100-point protocol, which is scoring coffee on fragrance, aroma, flavor, aftertaste, acidity, body, balance, sweetness, uniformity, clean cup, and overall. So like this would be the standardized evaluation globally. And so a coffee scoring 80 plus points earns the label of specialty. And this
Mm,
system now governs like everything from farmers' prices to like competition judging. So um it's out there
interesting.
for sure. Yeah.
I did actually
So
look
have
up
you
when those were. There's
yeah.
one in Houston, Texas. It was Saturday, April 26th. It already passed, but I swear I just saw like more. It looks like there's one in Panama in October
Mm, mhm.
and San
Panama.
Diego.
Ooh,
Interesting.
San Diego. Okay. So, um, if we wanted to like, I mean, there's probably gonna be like coffee fanatics there
Oh, for
who
sure.
are really serious about the taste, of coffee. I don't know if I'm ready for that like level, but I don't know.
I feel like we need a
Kind of
cupping
like
practice, like a few practice ones before we go to the big leagues.
right because I don't feel like we're like professional coffee cuppers yet.
No. Maybe in like a year when our
So
podcast takes off more, we'll get invited to
yeah.
go to one.
Maybe we will. Maybe we'll get an all expenses paid trip to one of these coffee cuppings. Anyway.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe, guys, so we can have that opportunity.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Um, so yeah, so that's interesting. Have you heard about the 100-point protocol, like where we're giving coffee like points on a 100-point scale?
I have only because we've had some coffee in our shop that has that like label on it, like from
Right.
like award winning type of thing. But yeah, I have never like been to one or like, you know, I'm not super familiar with it. I only know about it because of the website of like the roasters that we use.
Are you allowed to like go to these just to watch people cup, you know?
I'm sure. I mean, at the coffee expos, you can watch it. They also have like latte art competitions you can watch. But I don't know. I'd love to go watch one. I'd love to participate and to watch one.
Yeah, I want to see it all. Like that's cool. I need a latte art class.
Come to my
So
house. I'll give you a latte art class.
you need to come to my house in Idaho and give me a latte art class,
Yes, I do.
please. Mm.
Okay.
But anyway, so now to kind of end the history section. There was actually like so after the 100-point protocol was established in 2004, now kind of leading up to the present, basically kind of like looking back, what was once like the private ritual of buyers and roasters basically like went totally public. Specialty cafes now host cupping tables, so probably some like that you've gone to, where customers are walked through the same protocol that the professionals use, slurping loudly, to get all of the taste, to figure out what the taste profile is. And it's become a way of like storytelling and process and relationships. And so it's all about just more ways to bring people together on because of coffee. So I'm
Uh-huh.
all for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, anyway, but is that true though? Is there loud slurping? Are you supposed to like
Yes.
slurp loud to just
Yes, you
like
are
get the
supposed to. Yeah, there's a specific way to do it to get all the tastes. But there is um do you have anything else for the history?
That is the timeline.
Okay,
So
perfect. Perfect.
that's the complete history as far as I know.
I love it. I didn't want to interrupt your history if you had more.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, we got it all.
Perfect. So I'll kind of go over like what you need for it and kind of how to do it.
Okay.
So what you need to do it is basically you need freshly roasted coffee. So that's really
Okay.
important. If you're wanting to do like cupping, if you're a roaster listening to this and you want to do cuppings, you want at least 3 to 4 samples to start off for beginners. If you do too many, you're gonna get overwhelmed. Um, and this is saying because again, I've hosted a cupping, but I've never done the cup. Like I've never been the one to do it. I've just like had it at my shop or been to one. But you want a burr grinder for uniform medium coarse ground. So essentially almost like a French press. Like you want kind of more of a coarse. You want a digital scale for precise measurement. It's very important that you get everything precise for cupping. You want a timer
Mhm.
to track the steeping and cooling. You need
Okay.
cupping bowls or mugs, and those are very specific.
Mm.
Cupping spoons for slurping, and hot water
Oh.
around 200 degrees. And that's Fahrenheit. So, uh, basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna grind your coffee. You're gonna weigh and grind each coffee sample separately to a coarse consistency, so similar to kind of like sea salt. Then you want to prepare your
Okay.
bowls. You want to place 8 to 12 grams of coffee per bowl, using 2 bowls per sample to avoid defects. Then you want to assess dry aroma. So you want to smell the ground coffee to note the initial fragrances. fragrances. Then you want to pour the hot water and add 150 to 200 milliliters of hot water to each bowl and start the timer. Then you're going to assess the wet aroma. So you're going to smell the coffee after the water's added to detect emerging aromas. And then this is my favorite part. You're going to break the crust. So
You're gonna
after four
break the
minutes, you're going to
crust.
kind of, yes, you're going to gently push the coffee grounds back, like to the back of the bowl with a spoon. Then you're going to inhale the released aroma. And
Oh.
then you're going to remove the grounds. You use your spoons to remove the grounds floating on the top. And
Hmm.
then it's going to cool and taste. So you're going to allow your coffee to cool for 8 to 10 minutes, no more. Then you're going to slurp strongly to spread the coffee across your palate, noting your flavor, the acidity, the body, the balance, the sweetness, all that good stuff. So, yeah,
Hmm.
that is kind of the step by step of the cupping process. And you
Okay.
do want to rinse your spoons in between your samples to avoid the cross contamination. You know, this is getting like extra, but take detailed notes, like that chart that we told you guys about. If the more you do this, the more refined your palate is going to become, and you'll start recognizing the subtle flavors. It's kind of like if you guys ever been to like, so there's wine tasting, right? There's
Sure.
also bourbon tasting. I think cupping is more closely related to bourbon tasting because bourbon tasting is very like it's also very pretentious, but there's a very specific way to do it. And the more you do it, the better your palate will get on recognizing the different flavors. And it's the same thing with coffee. The more you do it, the more you're going to be able to pick out those subtle nuances. So, yeah,
Yes. Yeah. 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 That's like that is quite a process
it
that
is.
I didn't think that it had that much detail to it, but that's really cool. I love how they have coffee bowls
Uh
or
huh.
like that's really cool. Coffee bowl. Bring me a coffee bowl.
I love the cupping spoons. They're like my favorite. I don't know why.
They
I
look
just really
what they
like
look
cupping
like.
spoons.
I gotta look and see what they look like. I gotta Google it. Okay.
Yeah, Google it.
Coffee
But
cupping spoon.
so there's some really cool stuff on this cupping chart. I
Oh.
highly recommend you guys look it up. But you've got your basic like you know, your spices, your nutty cocoa, your sweet, your floral, your fruity. your green vegetable, your other. And then in those little sections, you have things like brown spice, pepper, cereal, burnt, chemically. You've got your olive oil, your raw, you've got sour, you've got citrus, you've got berry, and then out of all those, you got your maple syrup, your molasses, your chocolate, your malt, your grain, your ashy, rubber, butter, dark green, fresh, fermented, whiskey, winey, lime, grapefruit, cherry, strawberry. There's tons more. I'm just naming some. But, so
Yeah.
you can see how you start off in the middle of the circle if you have the standard chart pulled up. You start off in the middle of the circle, you pick which one from that, and then you kind of move off into the little outshoots and so on and so forth. You can kind of rate where it's at. I just think it's so cool.
I think it's cool. It's like a
It
science.
is,
Like
absolutely.
which is so cool.
Yeah.
And I looked up what a coffee cupping spoon looks like, and I want them.
Aren't they cool?
They're super cute. I found some stainless steel like gold ones,
Mm-hmm.
like gold colored ones,
Yes.
and I'm like, I freaking love these. These are
I
so
know.
cute. I want to like I just want to like have them to like stir my coffee and
Yeah, I
just
kind of want to get a cupping set just to have at home so that whenever I get a new coffee, I can just do a single cupping of it.
like I really want to like I really want to taste this.
Yeah. They have cupping journals where you can keep a record of all the coffee you've ever cupped. I want one of those too. But I just love it. You can literally get like a coffee cupping like a set like in this fancy case. Like, you know what, Katie? I want to be that person. I want to walk into a cupping with my briefcase, open it up, and have my spoons, my bowls, my little like scale, my little like napkin, like my charts.
Mm, I love that. Yeah, that's like that's so fun.
I
Oh,
love it.
man. I I was just also looking up coffee cuppings that I could go to close to me. And it's just really interesting to me.
I know, it's fascinating. It's a fascinating topic. It's one
Yeah.
of my favorite topics, honestly. You know what? I'm gonna try to find some pictures of the last time we cupped and I'll try to post them on our Instagram. I don't know if I still have them, but I will look for them. Oh, hey, by the way, guys, update on Purity Coffee. In case you listened to our
Oh,
last
okay, okay.
episode and you want to make sure that the company did right by me.
And
um,
did they?
Well, I ordered from Amazon, so I tried to reach out to Purity and I had to go through Amazon instead because since I didn't order straight from Purity website, they couldn't help me.
Oh,
But
okay.
Amazon did give me a full refund. So technically I got my $30 bag of coffee for free. But,
Oh, okay.
I was kind of thinking about it, Katie, and
Mm.
I don't know. I didn't okay, I liked it. Let me just say that. I liked it. But I had time to think about it. And normally
Mhm.
for a bag of like really good quality coffee, it's between like 18 and $25.
Yeah,
$29 for a bag of coffee is actually kind of outrageous. I know it's
it is
bird
pretty
friendly.
expensive.
Yeah, I know it's bird
Yeah.
friendly, but so is Chesapeake and their coffee's way cheaper. I don't know. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah.
why is it so expensive? Do you know?
Yeah. I have no idea. I mean,
Mm.
I don't know. Yeah, there's lots of decision making that goes into price points,
Yeah. I
and
just
so
yeah.
they feel like they can sell it for that much, but it is quite a bit. You can save if you subscribe
Yeah.
to them. I think you can set up like a subscription and it's less money, but I will say I'm excited to try Chesapeake. I did order some
You
from
did?
them.
Oh?
Yeah.
What'd you order?
I got the decaf
Okay.
and I think I got the oyster one that you said was
Okay.
good.
Yes. I love that one. I love all of the stuff I've tried from them, but yeah, I'm excited about that. So we'll have to do an episode about that.
Yeah, we'll have to do like another because before we just talked about bird friendly, but we should do one about like Chesapeake coffee roasters and like talk to them. I hope that I could get back in touch with Andrea, who's the marketing director there, but she's not on LinkedIn very often. So hopefully I can get her
Yeah.
maybe to come on or to at least answer some questions for me. So
Have
we'll
you
see.
tried emailing or like reaching out through Instagram or anything?
I haven't tried reaching out through Instagram or email. I just on LinkedIn, so I could probably try to reach out those ways too. So
Yeah. Well, anyways,
yeah.
guys,
Mhm.
that's pretty much it for cupping. I know it's kind of a shorter episode, but you've got the history, you've got the how-tos, you've got the info. Now you know.
Now you know. Yeah, you know what coffee cupping is, and it's something that you can go do with your friends
Mm-hmm.
on a girls' night or a boys' night. What
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
could be boys' night.
it's okay for everybody.
Yes,
But
cupping is for everyone.
it it is. Well, guys, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media. We've got Instagram, we've got Facebook, we've got YouTube, we've got, most importantly, our Spotify. So if you leave us a review and you follow us on there, it genuinely helps us out so much, and it shows Spotify that they will push our content out to more people and more coffee lovers like us. So help us get the word out.
Yes, yes. Yep, all it takes is just, subscribing and it's free for you to listen. So we would really, really appreciate it. And I've been more active on our Facebook group that has now gone public. So make sure that you join that because we have like fun stuff going on over there too.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, Katie, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, guys, until next week, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Katie,
And this is the Coffee Experiment.
the podcast for coffee lovers.